Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Grevin coming to you from Chicago as usual. And this is all Biggins' fault. He had himself a very good stream over on his channel. I wasn't there. He messaged me afterwards and told me to do this. And I said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely." So I'm just doing a part of what he did. It's fantastic. I know why he sent it to me, but it's very nice. I want to give him credit. If you're not, everybody go over there, like, subscribe. It's very nice, but I just wanted you to know that we were in communication about this particular thing. All right, and I even put on a fresh shirt for you. I bought a pack. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I discovered that they have T-shirts with buttons on them, so I can unbutton them. Some genius out there in internet marketing decided, hey, this is the sort of guy that wants to unbutton his T-shirt, and boy, were they right. They were absolutely right. I saw that and I said, hell's yeah. Give me the multicolored big pack. Let's do it. Let's do this thing, shall we? All right. Enough about that. We're going to court, so behave yourselves, or I'll have to get Judge Kim after you.
Your Honor, they're telling me that they can hear and they can see everybody, but apparently the transmission back to us isn't working.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Mr. Richardson?
Sorry, they're telling me that they can hear and see everything, but for some reason the transmission from their home to us through Zoom isn't working.
Right.
I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
Well, I mean, it does. This is still court. I'm like, this is not negotiable, right? I mean, if you're going to be in court, you have to be in court. You can't just observe as attendee. If we were in person, people wouldn't just be able to sit there and do whatever they want. Drive around in a car, smoking cigarettes in court.
Agreed. I'm checking to see if they can drive into Kimbo now.
Yeah, if not, I mean, it's an out-of-custody requested hearing, so you know, the release order would stay in place, and they can come back tomorrow if they want.
On the record in the matter of Credit Acceptance Corporation versus Jamal Tahir, file number is 16-03987 GCE. Counsel appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alexander Papa, PA 4378, up here on behalf of plaintiff.
Okay, and Mr. Tahir is present via Zoom. Mr. Tahir, do you have an attorney representing you at all? You're muted. You have to unmute.
It's just the beginning of what he doesn't understand.
Yeah, you have to unmute.
Okay, I'm muted now. How you doing? How are you, Your Honor?
I'm doing well. How are you?
It could be better. I would like to have a chance to explain my side of story, if you don't mind, Your Honor. With all due respect.
I don't mind at all. I just want you're representing yourself, correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
With all duly respect, I think he's... I don't even know. And why do you have your shirt buttoned up all the way? Unless you're putting a tie on. You know, that's just... it just doesn't work for me.
Okay, so you filed a motion or an objection, that is, to a garnishment. You stated here that the funds are exempt from garnishment by law. So can you explain?
Yes, ma'am. For the first time, as you can see, I just received this.
As you can see, this fine print contract that I'm holding up on a Zoom camera. No, we can't see.
Contract with the credit acceptance, and there's a fraud. There's a fraud involved.
I did see
when
that.
it comes to the down payment, that $1,800, and also I would like to review this case more with the with the Attorney General's office involved. They are reviewing this case because of in 2015 there was a car that I have test driven. It was 2009 Dodge Charger, black color, 100,000 mile on it. But I was told by the Riyadh Muhammad Michi, which is the dealer at that time.
I don't. Do you guys want me to explain this or not? I don't know. It's just so funny in and of itself. Tell me in the chat.
He told me that I can pick it up the car after they finish with the braking and the rotor. And a week later, he delivered the car, different car, which is 2006 and 177,000 miles. And it had a lot of issue in it. That's not the car that I signed. As you can see, Your Honor, I don't know if you can see my screen.
I didn't want to break your flow, but you keep holding up a document like I can see what you're holding up. I can't read that. I have no idea what you're holding up.
Yes, ma'am. You should have the copy of right there, the contract. See that? You don't see my signature. That's not my signature. I didn't sign for this car, Your Honor.
Okay, where we are procedurally, we're at a garnishment proceeding. There was a judgment taken against this guy 7 years ago. He bought a car. He didn't make the payments. They got a judgment against him. He now wants to attack the judgment for fraud. That's one of the few reasons why you can go back and attack a judgment, but he doesn't know that. We're at a garnishment proceeding. The judgment's not on trial here. You have to file your own motion. He doesn't get it. Sorry, I tried to make that quick. These finance companies are sleazy as hell, but the core of the problem here is that he didn't make a payment. That's the truth of the matter.
But I don't have what's in your hand. What is that?
It's a contract between about the car that they sued me for. But this is
I just pull them out of the pack and put them on. I didn't iron this, nothing. I don't even have an iron.
Not even my signature.
Why do you believe that I have that? Did you file a copy of that with your objection?
Yes, ma'am. The court gave me this. The court gave me this because the credit acceptors wouldn't let me have this contract because they knew what they did is a fraud. So my point is the car was not repo because I didn't have the car. They gave me a wrong card, not the card that I signed for.
Okay. I don't have whatever it is that
It's a plausible argument, honestly. I have my doubts about it, but it's a plausible argument. Okay? But it's one you want to bring up, sooner than 7 years after the judgment at a garnishment proceeding.
you're showing. I don't have that in my file, so I don't know what that is, and I can't see just because you posted up to a camera. I can't read that. If you want to use something as an exhibit and show it to a court, you have to file it. That's what the court rules say, okay?
Okay, but this is the court your court gave me the other day. This
I don't know who
right
gave
here.
that to you. I don't have a copy of it in my file is what I'm saying. I have no idea who gave that to you or where.
This is what the court gave me. No, they didn't. I mean, I highly doubt that, but it still doesn't matter. She can't read the frickin' thing. If you want to do something, you would have to file an exhibit. Before we even get there, you are making a motion to vacate the judgment verbally. You don't know that, but that's what you want to do. Well, let me put it that way. That is what you want to do, but haven't figured out. Okay? Right now, we're just proceeding on a post-judgment garnishment. And that's that. The judgment stands until it's taken out.
It came from.
From the 54 downtown court. I think the
That's
fifth
where
floor.
we're located, but again, I don't.
Thank you, Tia.
That's not in my file. So I can't tell you what that is.
Can you? I would like, Your Honor, with all due respect, please, can you review?
I mean, selling a car with 100,000 miles on it with all these terms, and I'm sure horrible interest. It's a bad deal. I'm sure it's downright predatory, but this never goes away. I see it every day. This never goes away because he probably doesn't have good credit, and when you don't, it's deal with people like that, or you don't have wheels. That's the reality of it.
This because there's a fraud have been made out of this
I
case.
can't review anything that's through a computer. I can't review that. I don't have it.
Okay, is there any way we can have another appointment so I can show you face to face?
Your Honor, if I
Can we have another appointment? I'm sorry, it's probably only funny to me. You don't make appointments with the judge. Yeah. You have court dates. Oh, good Lord.
You may.
On his original objection, he filed an objection saying that the funds were exempt.
Correct.
And he's not saying anything about any exempt funds. And furthermore, the funds aren't exempt. Second, right now he's attacking the underlying judgment, and I don't believe this is the appropriate motion for that.
Objection. How am I taking
He takes exception to the phrase attacking. Attacking is the appropriate word here, okay? He is attacking the judgment. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's the thing he should do. To the extent he believes his claims, he should attack the judgment. He doesn't say that in a pejorative sense. He gets all offended by it. Oh, it's so good.
I'm reporting the crime that the credit acceptance have done. I never had this down payment. 1,800. They put it here. This is a fraud, Your Honor. Fraud.
Okay. First of all, today was the date and time that was set for a hearing on an objection.
Yes,
Again, and I stated that to you in the beginning. You filed an objection to a garnishment. You selected the option because it gives you 6 options. You selected the option that the funds or the property are exempt or protected from garnishment by law. Today is the day for you to tell me why, under the law, these funds are exempt. What you're saying to me, and I don't know if you have a pending matter with the Attorney General's office or not as it relates to fraud. If that's the case, what you're alleging is that the judgment is fraudulent.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you're alleging.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is what Mr. Popov is saying, is that you're attacking the judgment. You're saying it's fraudulent. And he is correct by law, and you should have reviewed the court rules before you filed this motion or the objection. It clearly states there you cannot use this objection to garnishment to attack the judgment. This is not the proper forum to do that, sir.
I apologize, Your Honor. With all due respect, this is my first time appearing about this case.
I recognize that.
They claim that they have served me, in which I was in Tennessee that time in 2016. I don't know who they served at that time. This is my first time ever.
Okay, now you're attacking service of the judgment, which is fine. Those are good vectors of attack for the judgment. They are not proper objections on a garnishment.
Obtaining this copy of their contract. And this is my first time ever appearing to you, Your Honor. And so I would like to have a chance before this individuals that, they want to take our tax return. I have a wife that with breast cancer, her name Brittany, and I have a toddler. So there's no way I would pay for something that I never owned. And also they have made it a fraud right here. And I have a proof.
Oh, I'm sure you didn't pay for it. I'm also sure that you drove a car. Now, might they have mixed the paperwork up? Possibly. I don't know. File an appropriate motion and figure it out.
For this fraud. I'm not trying to attack the judgment, but one of my point is, how can they taking my money without me, my side of the story being even heard? The point I have here is, and they knew that they in 20 if you give me a chance, maybe 30 seconds, I can explain it to you very short.
I'm listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Popov down there, the attorney for doing the garnishment, he's left the building. He's heard this song and dance 1,000 times.
So in 2015, there's a car that I test drive, which is 2009 Dodge Charger and a black cover, and it had 100,000 miles on it. And by the time I signed, that's the car I knew I signed for. Now this is here's the very interesting part right there, Your Honor. So I was told that the dealer, which is Riyad Mohammed Rada Michi, and he said he gonna fix the brakes and then he gonna call me so I can come pick it up. That didn't happen, Your Honor. what happened was I was given after 1 week later, I was given to this card that now they credit acceptance sued me. So this card that I never signed, as you, I want to show you because there's no signature.
Let me stop you. I can't read that document through the computer. I already
Yes,
said
ma'am.
that. You also in the 30.
I guarantee you, this guy went in there, made a down payment. We may have had to mix up or may not have. I don't know the facts. I really don't. I'm not weighing in on it. But I guarantee you, he gave them some money and they gave him a car.
Seconds I just gave you, you absolutely repeated everything you already said, which still bring us back to the point that you're trying to attack the judgment. There was a default judgment that was entered against you back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want to attack the judgment, you can't do that under the objection.
I
You
apologize.
got to find another way to do it, okay?
I apologize. I'm not trying to attack, but I'm just saying like the Michigan
No.
legislature.
You're disputing the judgment. You're saying it's fraud. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if the underlying contract was fraud or not. I know that they got a default judgment because you failed to appear in court after being served. What I do know is that per the court rules, you cannot file an objection to a garnishment to now use that to prove that the case was fraud. You can't do it that way, okay? So I'm denying your objection because it violates the court rules, okay?
But there was Your Honor, with all due respect, there was given
Yeah, I don't believe you're disrespecting. I think you misunderstand. What you're trying to do violates the court rules. You can't do it that way. So if you have something pending with the Attorney General's office to address your claim that this was fraudulent, then you're going to need to work that out that way. But you can't use the objection for that purpose.
He probably called the Attorney General like chili and got hung up on after hours. That's probably the extent of what's going on with the Attorney General, but who knows?
Especially under the exemption from law selection that you made, okay?
Okay, I might maybe misunderstood that part, but Your Honor, can you give me more time?
I'm certain you misunderstood that part. That I have zero doubt in my mind that you misunderstood everything about this.
Before you release this money for them, please.
I cannot give you more time because you haven't provided me any information where I can give you relief under the law. I have to follow the law.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
It can't be. No, that won't help me because what that looks like is the document that you want me to read that you believe shows that there was some fraud. And
yes,
there may have been some fraud. I don't know because I didn't even handle the underlying matter. All I know was that there was a default judgment long before I was even a judge on this case. What I can tell you is that if you believe you can prove fraud, you should probably try to do that, but you can't do that with an objection, though. You can't do it here with that.
Oh,
you
yes, ma'am.
That?
I want to prove to you. I'm sorry, cut you. I apologize. I want to prove this to you, Your Honor. This is my first time ever appearing in court, and I
like that. I want to. I really want to. Like, our whole society's just screwed. People think their desire and their feelings matter. It's just not how the world works. I don't know what to say.
And I don't know how the system goes. You guys know more than me, but I apologize for any inconvenience, but I can show the proof that there's a fraud being made. I can show proof that I did not sign for this car, Your Honor. Okay. I did not sign for this car.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. At this time, I find that per law, your objections are invalid, and so the objections are going to be denied at this time, okay?
Darn the bad luck. I'm not licensed in Michigan, but you know who I know? You know who's perfect for this? Honestly, they are perfect for this. Is Steve Leto. Steve Leto could straighten this out in about 30 seconds. I don't mean to give him a hard time, but it's true.
Your Honor, the reason this is my first time ever appealing.
I recognize that you told me that multiple times.
Oh, well, then you get a first-time appeal bonus, and the law doesn't apply, and we can just talk about feelings instead.
I I recognize it's your first time. That's how you got a default. You didn't appear in court.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't even know it.
Yeah, we got it. You're not good at this. That much is abundantly clear to everyone involved.
I had a court before. That's what they know. I was out of state
personally back in 2016.
Yes, ma'am. But they claimed that they served me, but I was not even in Michigan, Your Honor. Please.
Okay, well, they have a proof of service that's signed by and notarized actually that said that you were served personally.
But
so
I know that's
here. And then once there was a judgment, a default judgment, you would have been notified of a judgment via the mail. We haven't heard from you until they garnished the wages. So you didn't even contact once you was told that there was a judgment. There would have been or should have been noticed to you sent years ago that you had a judgment. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. This is what
Seriously, Jamal needs a hug and a pat on the back and just a good try. Good try, my man.
Why I say, like I was not in Michigan at all. This is me right now. Seeing for the first time I've seen this contract. So I know you cannot read it from the computer.
I understand, but I'm not able to help you with what you're trying to do. You're trying to attack the judgment by objecting to a garnishment, and the court rules say you can't do that, okay?
So how can I have a fair trial, Your Honor?
You're not gonna a trial on this. You don't have. This is a judgment already. If you want to address what you got going on, you said you're already working with the Attorney General's office. You probably want to get you an attorney if you don't have one. If you're trying to prove some fraud, I think you got a uphill battle against you at this time. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these people think that the judge that they're losing in front of is the perfect place for legal advice. It's just all kinds of inappropriate.
So how can we going to release this money to the individuals that fraud?
You have not provided the court with any valid reason.
Did he say they frauded me? How do we get the money from the person who frauded me? That's all I want to know, Judge. What we're going to do is release these funds because your objection on the garnishment's BS. So, here's the deal. The money's flowing the other direction after this hearing. Oh, but keep trying.
To believe that the garnishment was invalid, and so the objections are invalid, and so the monies were released. Okay.
Your Honor,
to satisfy the judgment.
How can you release the money without you even reviewing the contract? Your
I don't have to read that. I have explained that. I don't have to read that.
Yeah, because it's a post-judgment action, and the judgment's the judgment is the judgment unless you get it vacated. Until then, the judgment that's the court record. It's res judicata, my friend.
Because it has nothing to do with the garnishment. That has to do with what
you
believe will show that the judgment is invalid. And you can't object to a garnishment and then try to attack the judgment through the objection, is what I'm trying to tell you. And I don't know any other ways for me to explain that to you, sir.
But the whole purpose is starting, that's why I need more time so I can bring an attorney. Your Honor, this is a fraud.
Well, you filed this objection and you knew what you were coming for today. And so we can't delay this so that you can now go find an attorney, just so the attorney can tell you the same thing about the rules of law as it relates to objecting to a garnishment. The court rule is very clear as to how you and when you can object to a garnishment and when the court can grant it and when you and if you can use that to attack a judgment. And when I say attack a judgment, that means you object and you say that the garnishment is invalid because the judgment was fraud. That you can't do that. The court.
Okay, how can I prove that then, Your Honor, please?
I can't give you any legal advice about how you can prove your case, okay, sir?
So they was given a judgment without me.
You file a motion to vacate the judgment and you state your basis is fraud. You also say that the judgment is void because you were never served. Now, I doubt that those things are actually true. and you're running into some dangerous area there. But if you were right, that's what you would do.
Being even the president of the
Yeah,
court.
there was a default judgment because you failed to appear. Correct.
I was not in the state, Your Honor. I apologize about that, but I would like to have a given chance by now so I can show you the proof of me not signing.
This is cute. I just want you to give me a chance. Again, we're back to our feels. The judge doesn't even have discretion on this. The judge just can't hand out chances like candy. There's a freaking judgment. She'd get censured. Oh, I just set aside a judgment because the guy because I felt sorry for him. We don't do that. Oh, sweet Jesus.
The proof
There
that
was a statutory time frame whereby you could have appeared after the default and asked to have it set aside, and you could have notified the court and let them know you didn't live there. That never happened. And so we can't come 7 years later and have a trial on a default judgment. The default stands. If you want to prove fraud in another way and pursue the plaintiff in another way, that's your prerogative, and you have the right to access the courts in that regard. But you don't have the right to misconstrue the court rules to your benefit at this time. Do you understand that?
No, ma'am.
The first time we agree all day. He does not understand that.
I respect what you're saying, ma'am, but I wish you can review. You see, I'm a victim here.
Respect has nothing to do with it. I don't know if you're a victim. You're alleging you're a victim. I have my doubts. It's entirely plausible with the players involved here, but I have my doubts.
What, like, I understand, you know.
I'm not disputing that. I don't know what happened. There was no trial, so I don't know if you were a victim or not. What I'm telling you is that you cannot do what you're trying.
Yeah, if you buy a car with 177,000 miles on it, you're a victim already. I'll give you that. But you needed the car, and you wanted the car, and they gave it to you. And those were the terms.
Trying to do to prove that you were a victim is what I'm telling you.
How can I prove
so you
it,
need to
Your
go
Honor?
get an attorney. You need to go get an attorney and then figure out how to handle it, okay?
And so after you release the money, how, you know, like, you think I...
Problem is, no attorney will take this because this is a headache, and the value of the car when he purchased it is less than it would cost to get an attorney. That's what we're talking about here.
That's possible. So if you're releasing the money right now for the individuals that fraud me, so how can I prove
The
that?
garnishment, the judgment has been pending for over 7 years at this point.
I hope he finds a guy that frauded him. I really do.
The garnishment was already issued, and you waited until now to even bring this issue before the court. So if a garnishment is released to them, it's because you sat on the judgment for this long.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so you need,
Your Honor,
under the
I
law,
was not even in the state, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
I recognize that. At this time, I need to move on to another case. I can't keep repeating the same things. Maybe if you hire an attorney, they can explain it better for you, okay?
Yeah.
So can we please hold it for the fund, please? I
can't hold the funds while you
Give
go
me
and
a
find
$5,000
legal
retainer, and I'll
counsel.
tell you that you're going to lose.
Well, can I show you? At least you don't even have the copy of it.
No, because all that is to show me that you believe that the judgment was fraud. That's what you're trying to show me. You believe that the case was fraud.
I'm not attacking your court, Your Honor. I'm talking about what credit acceptance show you is a fraud.
I don't even know that credit acceptance didn't even show us that. That's not in our file. So that's not. So showing me that's not going to help you.
The other day, Your Honor, your court gave me the other day.
Showing me that's not going to help you, sir. We're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I just leave this on because it's amazing how long it takes him to realize the hearing's over. It's clear to the rest of us.
We're on the record in the matter of the Farm Bureau Insurance of Michigan versus LaSherion Marquise Rogers.
Maybe she'll
File
come
number
back and give me a break.
22-02133 GC. Counsel appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May it please the court, Keith Cox of Winters and Associates on behalf of the plaintiff, P59146.
We finally got it. We finally got there. He finally figured out. He finally figured out that the hearing's over. he got frauderized. Absolutely. Absolutely, Cat in Virginia. He got frauderized. There's no two ways about it. That's you've just witnessed pure fraudery. Oh, it's good stuff. For some reason, my favorite part was when he took offense to her properly characterizing him as attacking the judgment. I did no such thing. Well, you didn't, but you should. That's exactly what you should do. Oh, it was too good. Thanks again to Big N. He sent that over to me. He has a long one. Go check it out. There's a lot more in that call. There's a lot more in that call, and there's a lot of good stuff. Go check out his stream he did on that. That was just part of it. He pointed me to that part, and I already did a stream today, so that's all I had in me. So there you go. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.